No, you could be a hippopotamus. You could be
Posthumous?
a
hippopotamus? A hippopotamus comedian?
So, Adam Laughlin.
Hello.
You're a comedian?
I closed my eyes there when I said that one. Hello.
You're a comedian, a stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedian, yeah.
Stand-up guy, if I say myself.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, how would you describe your stand-up comedy?
And through like a visual representing like a dance.
You want to go visual? Go for it.
How would I describe my stand-up comedy? My stand-up comedy is fucking huge, massive, long set pieces that bore the arse of audiences, that have fucking tons and tons and tons of build-up, and then just the very littlest payoff. But what payoff you do get is fucking damn good payoff.
I agree.
Like a little swear there. Sorry about that. Irrelevant, just nonsense. Things I just think about. I don't know. I don't really try and do any like political stuff or personal stuff. I've tried to do a little bit of personal stuff lately these days, but I don't really go for it. If it's silly and just pointless, I'm gonna do it. I stay clear from all the kind of like politics and Northern Irish stuff.
Well, I think a lot of the sort of comedians on the scene want to stay away from Northern Irish politics.
Yeah, it's like that.
Because it's a bit dull, isn't it?
Well, I've always said in my mind, I say things in my mind. I've always said, I'm trying to sound really intellectual in life. I've always said in my own brain, whenever I was growing up, all that stuff, all the Catholic Protestant stuff and the Troubles and all that kind of stuff, to me, it was a bad thing because it was like, there was hatred involved in it, and then there was like, it wasn't something I wanted to get involved in, so
yeah.
I stayed at home and played my fucking PlayStation and my Mega Drives and all the Sega Saturns and shit like that. I kind of stayed away from that. So now that when everybody turns around and goes, oh, here's a joke about the political landscape in Northern Ireland, it goes right over my head because I'm not invested in that. I'm not invested in it, which is why all my material is just like, comic stuff and like little set pieces that I would write at home kind of thing, and monologues and little kind of ideas that I have. And kind of stay away from. As a Northern Irish comedian, I'd say I'm not that Northern Irish in identity.
In identity?
In identity, was a bit hateful in there.
Well, I suppose I tend to agree with you, actually. Because I don't think I would feel if I did that sort of us and them humour, it would be insincere because it's not my reality.
It's a hard one to write as well.
Well, it's just not understanding things. It's not how I grew up. It's not like I didn't have that type of like, I don't get the in-jokes.
Yeah, like stoning the Brits and stuff like that. Like it's like the kind of thing. It's like now we're getting away from my comedy and I do like my comedy.
Your comedy's better than that.
Wait, see this? No. It's horses for courses. Like I said, I did a support for Tim McGarry the other day, and he killed it. Like absolutely killed it. But he's playing to the home crowd. He's playing to the game ahead peace people that want sectarian panto. They want that level of like. They want that.
You go from no, it's horses for courses, but it's also sectarian panto.
Yeah, that's their course. They want that
sectarian panto.
Sectarian panto. He's a Protestant. Oh no, he isn't. Oh yes, he is. I'm selling Tim McGarry and all those people short. But no, you see, when I watched Tim McGarry do it, Tim McGarry was rattling it out, but then I thought to myself, but then again, he's been in the game a long time. He's saying this from a point of authority and there's an authenticity to what he's saying.
But that's what I mean by insincere for me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see any shit. I'm from Bangor.
Yeah, the trouble's like more or less all wrapped up by the time I think we were all trying to.
Someone went, oh, you're one of those. Look at you.
Yeah,
that was it. That was the level.
No, it's like, but you see, I suffer from it times because whenever I'm emceeing a gig in Northern Ireland, like I'll turn around to somebody, go, where are you from? And they'll mention like a place in Northern Ireland they're from, and I go, I have no idea what that is.
No idea that.
No idea what that is.
No idea where anything
Not in touch. I remember there's a friend of mine from Derry held me up against the wall once by the scruff of my neck. And because I turned around him and I said, Northern Irish heritage means nothing to me, and threw me up against the wall. And I was like, calm the fuck down, man. He's about to start the troubles all over again. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, some people do take it really, really seriously. Like, I don't really mind it. Like, they can have it. Like, but you know, it's not that I'm trying to stay away from that. But like I said, I just can't write that Northern Irish political identity stuff because we don't have any investment in it. And I've sat down and tried to write stuff like that, and it's pretty pretty hard.
Yeah.
Am I able to swear? Am we swearing? Are we getting to swear?
We swear like.
Can we swear?
We'll cut it out.
Not that I want to swear, but occasionally if I flippity.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. When they asked me to do this, they should have known what they were getting.
100%.
So, what interested you in stand-up comedy in the first place?
Well, that would just be. It would be
Like, why did you go? I want to do
how
that.
did I do it? I used to be in a band. In Derry called Unless. Fucking brilliant name.
Ooh.
Absolutely
Was it
brilliant
metal?
name. No, we were post-alt emo. We were like at the drive-in, Jimmy Eat World kind of thing. I was the front man, the lead singer, and the guitarist, and then all the songs were about a breakup I have with my girlfriend and stuff. It was so fucking emo, like so emo.
Yeah.
It was so emo.
Did you cry?
Maybe I cried a few times, kind of thing. It was back when people were all like, if you cried during a song, it was considered pretty cool. Like people like in Korn, like Korn.
Did you have a fringe? Did you have a big one? Did you have one of those sweet emo over the eye fringe? Because I'm trying to picture you with emo hair.
I had shoulder length hair, and it was because I thought I was Kurt Cobain. You know the way like these days, nice wee rich there for you. You can take the levels down on the coughs. You know the way when Joker came around?
Yeah.
The fucking Keith Ledger's Joker, and the little lads dressed up as the Joker for Halloween, and then subsequently from that thought they were the Joker kind of thing. I had a friend of mine that happened to me with fucking Nirvana. Like I first started listening to Kurt Cobain, I was like, I want to be Kurt Cobain. He's the coolest man ever. So I grew my hair long, flannel shirts and stuff like that, and then got into a band. But it was doing that frontman stuff for being in the band and like having a bit of fun with the crowd and telling jokes in between songs got me kind of into it. And then there was one day we were queuing up to get into a bar in Derry. I always remember we were queuing up to get into a bar, and I wasn't even queuing to get in. I wasn't even bothered about getting into the bar. But I just remember like walking up and down the queue, just chatting to people, making people piss their bags laughing. And it was one person turned around and he was, "Oh, you do comedy? You do a comedy thing? Do you not have a comedy thing?" And I never thought about it, and I was all like, comedy? And I was like, yeah. And I was fucking really into myself at the time. So I had an invincible bravado, and it was like, yeah, I could do stand up, that kind of thing. So that's what kind of got me into it. And plus loving all stuff like Vic and Bob and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And comedy from back in the day I used to watch. Just seeing those people and going, I want to do that. That'd be pretty cool. Like Richard Pryor or something like that.
Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor was like a really, really early one I got on to. And people like Pablo Francisco, a Latino comedian.
It's interesting to say Richard Pryor, because Richard Pryor would have been the first time I seen stand-up, and when that's incredible.
Yeah, that's not even stand-up comedy. That's just somebody going on stage
so much good.
and
just
talking.
So much fun.
Yeah, and it's not even an act kind of thing. Yeah.
And you do have like a Pryor essay. I can sort of see that in you with the anthropomorphic nature of things. You give life to things.
Oh yeah, characters and stuff like that. Like Richard Pryor would do a lot.
Yeah.
He would be on stage and he would do. Not comparing myself to Richard Pryor in any way.
I am. I'm comparing you to Richard Pryor.
Yeah, okay, and because he would do a lot of he's every character in the sketch, and the sketch is going for a long time, and you're building characters and characters and characters as you go along, kind of thing. And like that's like I always say to people when people always ask me about stand-up comedy, and I go, it's really cool because at the end of the day, I'm all burps. At the end of the day, it's like it's really cool because you're the authority on what's funny. You're like, this is what's going to be funny, and I like that kind of control over it. It's pretty cool. Like even if like sometimes when you come up with something that you think's funny, and then you take it to an audience, and the audience just look at you and go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Kind of like, and then but I say, you know yourself as well. I'm not saying it's like down on your own. You know yourself with down on yours. You know with down. Speaking of down on yours, you know yourself. No, I'm trying to work this in the bit. If you see me do this in a bit later, forgive me for mentioning. I have this theory, right? It's like when you first start off and you're doing all your stuff, if it doesn't go really well, you die in your arse and you feel really, really bad about it. But the longer you do it, the more you can make an excuse about why you didn't die in your arse. So it's like if you're really long in the game and you go on stage and you do all your best stuff, you go, well, the crowd weren't listening to me, were they? They're not like I'm talking about Tim McGarry, that's not exactly that's not the kind of crowd that I would play in front of. And then if you're doing all new stuff, like remember when the American bar the other night, like I said, if you do all new stuff and it doesn't go well, you go, well, it was all new stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like the longer you're in it, the more you can get away with dying on your arse. That's my thing.
It is the longer you're in it, the less effort you have to make.
100%. That's what I'm saying. I swear to God, you can get 10 years in this thing. Once you hit 10 years in stand-up comedy, just coast. Just absolutely coast. Like, I mean, now these days, I'm kind of falling into, like, I know exactly what I want to do as far as, like, jokes are on stage. Like, 10 years ago, I probably couldn't have done it. 10 years ago, I was a jack of all trades, master of none. I was doing keyboard pieces and musical numbers and stuff like that, and I was throwing everything I could into it. Like, you've seen the poster for the voice box, the old voice box.
Oh,
gig.
yeah.
I'm standing on the chair with it. I ripped the trousers in half and one of the sleeves and stuff. And then I pulled the Mars bar out of the back of my neck and started eating it and all this kind of stuff. Like it was a poo. I was trying to go, I just pulled a poo at my hole and I'm eating it. I wouldn't do anything like that now. I would go, nah, that's a cheap laugh. I'm not pulling out a pretend poo out of your arse and eating it. That's so hacky. It's such a hack move. So yeah, but now it's like I like to think that now in my stand-up comedy career, like I say, David Bowie said I never played at a gallery, and I've got the point now where it's like I'm only writing jokes that I find funny, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
And if the crowd don't get it, I go, wow, we had to be there when I came up with it at home. It's like I was saying, what was I saying the other day? And I was like, it gets to the point sometimes where I enjoy coming up with the material at home so much that if an audience aren't really getting on board with what I'm saying, I'm only halfway through the joke go, I tell you what, you don't deserve the rest of this joke. I'm way home just to tell it to myself and just giggle my ass off for the rest of the night. You missed out.
I feel like that's good. No, you far too many comedians don't satisfy themselves.
Nice.
You definitely satisfy yourself.
I have my own best company. I fucking love it. Like, it's great crack. Like, that's why I never die on the stage anymore. I walk off and go, well, I had a good time, so fuck him.
I wish I had your ethos of just the entirety of my life.
What do you mean?
Just be like, I just go into work and be like, you think I was shit? Well, I thought I was really good. Fuck.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I had a good time. Fuck, I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Keep the money.
I've been coasting for quite a long period of time. Like, I'm not really selling myself much here.
I think you are. I think you're definitely selling your act.
Selling my act, yeah.
Well, anyway, so you're coasting now.
Coasting now.
We've established that.
Phoning it in, just coasting and phoning it in the audiences and just getting away with it.
How was the first gig, though?
Well, you know, I suppose you...
I'm making you talk about it.
The folks at home don't know about my first gig. Well, my first gig was supporting a Roy Chubby Brown impersonator in Cafe Rock in Derry.
That's crazy.
And it was an absolute disaster because at that time I thought comedians, you just went up, you didn't have any material. You just walked up on stage and you just said whatever came to your mind. That was so wrong. And I got steaming as well. And I was doing all this mad stuff. I was doing I had this joke about bestiality. And now, taking into account, I'm playing in front of a Roy Chubby Brown impersonator's audience. So it's all blue rinses. It's all like and racist guys kind of thing. And I go on stage and I start talking about bestiality. I did this whole routine about, yeah, people ride dogs and sheep and stuff like that, but where's the extreme side of bestiality? Like, I want to see a guy fuck a shark, you know what I mean? It's like have sex, get a blowjob off a giraffe, you know what I mean? Would you have to get a ladder up, or would you have to train it to bend down? But and then they were just like, what's he fucking talking about? So I completely died in my arse on that day. Like I said, first start of the gig, so you died in your arse on the first ones. Died in my arse. And the big guy JR that was running it in Derry came up to me after and he was like, I don't think it's for you, man. I don't think comedy is your thing. Because I used to do Baby Got Back at a karaoke of his.
Oh, yeah.
When I used to work in a McDonald's around the corner. And such a working class fucking background. And I would go to his fucking karaoke, do Baby Got Back in my McDonald's uniform. And then he invited me down to there was a cabaret night where the Roy Chubby Brown guy was playing. And he was like, do you want to come down? I'll bring the karaoke machine, you bring the uniform, your McDonald's uniform. And I was like, no. And because I'd heard that before about doing stand-up. And I went again, no, I want to do stand-up. And he goes, well, all right, okay, I'll put you on for some stand-up then. And then, like I said, it was a bit of a disaster. And then moved to Belfast a couple of years later. And then had a whole mad experience in the Empire. That was great crack.
We'll leave that there.
I'm not even going to talk about that. That's old news.
So
great interview technique here as well. You go, well, you wouldn't see Graham Norton being all, so what else was I going to say? What do you think about the price of milk?
I'm just waiting for you to give me the question next.
Oh, yeah. No,
Remember you to spur on.
Yeah.
So what was the point when you were doing stand-up where you went, I like this actually? This is for me?
First day.
The first one?
Well, no. The Cafe Rock one I enjoyed. Like I said, I had a great time on stage. I was doing all my bestiality jokes and stuff like that, and I was like, one of this fucking class, right? Even though, what was it? Because the Red Shirt Brown guy, he had like props as well. And he had a suitcase on stage.
Oh.
And I was steaming, and I was like, what's this here? And I opened it up and started going through all the items in the suitcase. And you know, what's this here? It's a rubber chicken. And I'm like, what's this? Ha ha! It's a horn. What's this here? And the two of them at the back of the crowd going like, what's he doing? Ruined the whole guy's act. Like, no, but the Empire, when I did the Empire, I first moved to Belfast, and I struggled to get myself into the Empire because I didn't know anybody in comedy kind of thing. And I did this whole blag, went into the Empire and fucking talked to Colin Murphy, and it was all like, oh, blagged myself backstage, pretending I was like from sort of Student Gazette, looking to get a quote from Colin Murphy about newcomers starting in comedy, and I thought I was really clever with the whole thing. And then I went and spoke to Colin Murphy, realised, knowing what I know now, if you ever want to get a gig in a comedy night, don't speak to the MC. The MC's not booking people. Like, he's been booked. Like, the amount of times that people come up to me in the path and they're all, oh, can I get a gig? And I'm like, go speak to Look. I don't book gigs. I get booked. That's what happens. God love anybody that does promotion or be a promoter. Like, Luke McGibbon's got the patience of a saint. I don't know how.
Well, I have recently, since endeavouring to do this, I now understand why every promoter I've ever spoken to is seriously pissed off.
I know. It's so ridiculous. God love him, mate. But you know, the Empire, I did, you see, I was supposed to do 6 minutes in the Empire, and I did 15. Maybe even more, probably about 20 minutes. I went grossly over my time, but I fucking killed it. And it was one of those things where I was like, shit, this fucking works. I can fucking hell, I'm a comedian, what? And then I got backstage and I got the biggest bollocking ever for going over my time. Well deserved, a well-deserved bollocking, kind of like. So yeah, that moment, I fucking absolutely loved it. And then I was like, right, sweet, happy days. I didn't have this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and I want to take this professionally kind of thing. I've always kind of played it fast and loose with comedy, like you know yourself as well.
Yeah.
You kind of do it on the side, and it gives you only what you put into it, that sort of thing.
Like, if you take it too seriously, it loses its fun. It loses its charm.
But then again, there needs to be a serious element of like promoting yourself and speaking to people. And
that's what I can't. That's what I can't.
I can never hack that stuff. It's like I have this weird theory that growing up in Derry especially, there was always a sense of who do you think you are? Everybody was humbled in Derry. Like if you were doing, oh jeez, that's so burpy. Hey. Anytime you do anything, people go, oh, you're showing off, that kind of thing. Well, maybe they were just saying it to me. And maybe I was just showing off. But that was the thing. And then whenever I moved into comedy, I find it really hard to promote myself. I always have this sense of anytime I post about a gig or anytime I post about me doing a show, I always cringe. And go,
oh, I do as well, yeah. I was
you feel really like, oh, who the fuck am I, kind of
Someone said something I thought was interesting. It's like, I want to do those things, but I don't want to be seen to be doing them.
Yeah. I would happily have somebody do them for me, that kind of thing, But it's like you asked for blurbs for these gigs coming up.
Yeah, I asked for blurbs.
Yeah.
I asked for blurbs, people.
I know. I was sitting right, there was, because I always used to get somebody to write my blurbs. I would always go to somebody, oh, here, write a blurb, or you can write that here, go and write a few words for me. And I'm not saying who it was, but I was sitting the other day, and I was talking about this, there's a new comedian. He's just relatively new. And he had this blurb that was on one of his gigs, and it was all, new upcoming comedian. He's the best comedian, best comedian ever. He's so cool. He's the best there is. He's so new and best. He's the best. And I turned around and I was like, who wrote this? Like, where's he getting a review? And they're like, no, they're writing them themselves. And I was like, you're kidding. So that's why yours, I went, called comedian out of Laughlin, who everybody loves. He's fucking brilliant. No, you can't wait to see this guy. I'm definitely not him as well.
I know someone that I think I'm going to go for because I think it's quite a good idea, that put some of their jokes into chatbot and then had chatbot write their blurb for them, and it was quite good.
I should have got that there. I'd be fucking about with chatbot, why not as well? Since you could get a few fucking Northern Irish acts, fucking use chatbot to write the whole sentence. Something.
You're selling yourself short because you're making it seem like you're not like semi well known. I was with you once and someone came up to you.
I'm not that well, you see.
They knew you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I would get recognised once or twice. Like I said, more so than I've done TikTok.
I was going to say.
Yeah, TikTok. I'm all, everybody's all fair play lad, fair play lad. Oh, you're fair play lad. I had a guy sitting next to me in a bus. You know, you're that guy, fair play lad. You're off TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, sweet, happy days. I used to do stand-up comedy, you prick. And it's like, because anytime I put up clips of my stand-up comedy, TikTok, I get like 7 likes. But anytime I rant about some guy, I don't know, using a hot stone to fucking make a slice of toast, you know what I mean? It's like fucking hundreds of thousands of likes. And I'm like, what do you want from me? What do you want, people?
That would be quite a nice place to end.
What do you want? What do you want from me?
This is Adam Laughlin.
And this is Sara-Jade Davidson.
And join us every month for the Accidental Comedy Club.
You can find information about tickets and when the gig is going to be on at accidentaltheatre.co.uk.
And if you can't be coming down, you can always stream it online on the website as well.